that's the jack that goes straight into the flight controls, and it conveys the pilot's voice into the intercom. So that was something that Paul spoke through.
We're being presented with the entire known remains of Battle of Britain Spitfire Mark 1A P9503, and that was flown by Paul Baillon, an old boy from here. He was here in the 1920s, and in the Battle of Britain, of course, he jumped out of this plane when he was hit by return fire from some baddies above Salisbury Plain, and all the known parts that were excavated about a year ago are being presented to us here today. Some of the parts are pretty significant pieces that are recognisable, pieces that will be seen inside the cockpit. And so what we're going to do with those is use them on our build. And that means that our replica of P9503 will have some original parts from the original. All the rest, and there is an awful lot of it, will form a permanent memorial to Paul Baillon and all the other boys who were lost during the Second World War here, including Paul's brother, who was killed a month later.
Given that my father and his three brothers were here and his father was here before them, I'm particularly pleased that the remains of the Spitfire that he flew have come back here.
It's just fantastic. It's the fact that we've actually got the parts of the Spitfire that we're building, we actually now have them, and the fact that we're going to be able to incorporate some of the parts into the build is just makes it all more rewarding. Some of it is still in great condition, like some of the labels you can still read all the words off, and it's just interesting to see what's still being able to be salvaged sort of 70, 80 years down the line.
It's really incredible to see that they're all here, because these were a part of something and they helped people, and it was something that was actually used. Every single little bit was perfectly intact and had a job. And now that they're here, you can see everything, and it's like opening up to the past and seeing things that happened.
And it's in what, perfect condition? It's probably how it was in the plane.
This is part of the canopy release mechanism. You might be able to make out it's got some numbers stamped on it, and it starts with 300, which tells you it's made by Supermarine, so it's going to be a Spitfire. The really powerful thing with this is that this is part of the release right from the front, so Paul will have had to have gripped that, thrown back the canopy to bail out. So that's pretty certainly just about the last thing to touch. And you imagine the thoughts going through his head as he did that. And it's linking these sorts of little artefacts with the people behind the story.
I would imagine he's pleased, amazed, and certainly I know that my mother would be very, very proud.
Is it 19? I think it's 19. I've lost track.